My name is Ian Group, and there are three things I absolutely love: helping others, personal finance, and networking with people from all over the world. So, welcome to Fireside Chats, short 5 to 10 minute videos where I connect with my friends to discuss personal finance, real estate, mindset, tackling debt with one goal in mind: to give you an inside look on our goals and how we achieve them. So, if you're looking to level up or just connect with some new people, this is the short and concise show for you. Today, I'm talking with Noah Kim. He's a 24-year-old motivated professional who got his first taste for personal finance and financial independence through a house hack. Check out the show description for his socials. And as always, if you like what you see, please hit subscribe. Helping my channel grow will help me keep bringing you great content. So enjoy my conversation with Noah. What's up, Noah? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Just got off work and I'm excited to talk a little bit more about real estate, personal finance, and just starting out educating other people about personal finance.
We've caught up in the past. You've told me about your house hack, which I think is awesome. And I know you're 24 years old. I'm 36, so I've got a couple years on you. But I always think about how when I'm talking on Instagram or when I'm putting out content, I want to talk to myself like 10 years ago and tell myself a lot of the things that I wish I knew now in terms of organizing my money and debt payoff. And what I think is awesome about what you've done is, number one, you're getting started on this journey early, and you also have a house hack under your belt. So I'm very curious how you were able to put that together and why you did that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were catching up earlier and I was telling you a bit about my uncle, who is a contractor and a real estate investor and has been for a really long time. And during high school, he was always telling me like, hey, Noah, like you should think about personal finance and real estate. And I just kind of ignored it, right? I was like too busy, I don't know, hanging out with my cousins and figured I was just going to have a job anyway. So it didn't matter. I graduated, start getting a bunch of bills, had debt to pay off and that type of thing. And I was like, hey, Uncle Neil, can you like talk to me a little bit more about this real estate stuff? Kind of threw myself into it with honestly following other people's Instagrams and learning about real estate through Bigger Pockets. And, you know, as someone who's in their 20s, didn't have a ton of money. And so what's so great about house hacking is you are able to get an owner occupied loan. And so the government, banks kind of look at that really favorably. You can put 0% down if you're a veteran or if you live in a rural area, or like 3.5% down if you live anywhere else. And so I think the big thing for me was just like getting started networking with people in the Richmond area, which is where I live. Once you find an agent, you find a lender, like they'll start sending you deals because it's in their best interest, right, that you close.
Yeah, I want to close, right?
So I think like I knew real estate was something I was interested in long term and wanted to get started early, like sooner rather than later. So just having, I don't know, just kind of replacing all the stuff on my feed with kind of like negative stuff, news, sports, with other people who were doing what I was interested in really helped like make me take action.
That's awesome, man. I've always wanted to own real estate, but living in New York City wasn't really practical given where I was in life. But had I thought about that when I was in law school, for example, I was there for 3 years and I was living in a much more affordable area. Granted, I had a lot of student loans, but maybe I could have done what you are doing, gotten an FHA loan, bought something small, and then just rented it out to my buddies or something. You know, I probably would still own it and would still be collecting rent. So I just, hats off to you for doing that. Who's living in your house hack?
Yeah, for sure. So actually my roommate, when I first moved back to Richmond, I moved into an apartment with one of my best friends. So we met in elementary school.
Oh, cool.
Never went to high school, middle school, or college. Like we just stayed really good friends. And so I told her when we moved into the apartment, I was like, within the year, I'm going to buy a house that's nicer than this apartment. And we're going to be able to live there for less than the rent that we're paying at the apartment. And I think we both were kind of like, we were like 22 or 23, and we were both kind of like, yeah, that's totally going to happen. But yeah, I just kept telling myself that, kept telling other people what I was trying to do, and just started to put together a team. I think I met like 4 different real estate agents I fell out of contract 2 different times. I was like losing sleep over this stuff, but kind of, I guess, just not giving up, right? It's like you can't really fail unless you give up. So yeah, like with 2 months left of our, like 10 months into the lease, I was able to find a place. So she lives with me now, and then there's an additional bedroom, and so we're looking to rent that out on Airbnb, or find like some sort,
cool.
like travel nurses, um, to kind of continue to give us the flexibility if, like, maybe in the spring we want to go travel somewhere else and work remotely, then we could rent out the whole house on Airbnb.
I love that flexibility. Like that, I think that's what it's all about. Do you see yourself buying more properties?
Totally. So I think what's great about house hack is, like, once you live there for 1 year, you can move out and get an additional owner occupied loan. The one kind of downside long term with house hacking is that scaling it takes a long time, right? Like one house a year can take a while. And so I think my next goal is really to start buying properties to renovate and flip, or to renovate and then rent out, so that the people living there have a brand new place to live, and you can build equity if you buy the right property.
Amazing. I love it. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, I know one of the things that I love following your account is because you have such a you have a ton of experience with law, and then also with real estate as well. Like,
yeah,
sounds like you were able to kind of, you realize that when you're a lawyer, like, you were closing all these deals, and then now you have this mindset where, like, you work in tech and are building products for companies like that to use. Like, what has that been like? Like, what kind of stuff have you learned closing such big deals?
I think regardless of the size of the deal, there's always some hair on it, so to speak. It's never easy. Like you said, you fill out a contract twice. So many real estate deals just never wind up happening. And a lot has to really come together for a deal to work. I think on a smaller scale, there's certainly less parties that have to be involved. And a lot of it is pretty conventional. Like if you were to go and when you went and got your loan, there's no negotiation of documents. There's like, It's pretty formulaic, right?
Right.
On the loan, the type of deals that I was working on, these are big transactions. So there's a lot more that can go awry. And so I think it's just being always cautiously optimistic on these deals, as well as, being aware of the pace at which it's going. You sometimes just need to buckle down and push pretty hard. We really recognize, I obviously knew that as a lawyer, and then through my company Pro Deal, we've recognized where there's bottlenecks on deals, and that's why we built our app. For those, for anybody that's watching that doesn't know, it's kind of like Dropbox for real estate. It's like a virtual closing table in the cloud. And so you need a lot of features and functionality that cater to people that are closing deals and need to get them done efficiently and quickly. So I've learned a lot. I think what it comes down to, though, is just execution, getting it closed. What would you say you want to educate others on? Like, what's your main focus on Instagram right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I'm focused on is kind of like, you alluded to this before, but thinking about what I would have liked to know, like in high school even, or in college. Because I mean, I know people say this a lot, but like, I didn't get this. A lot of my friends didn't get the message that, like, if you want to succeed, financially, unless you're getting some big inheritance or something, like, it really is on you to educate yourself, because school, for whatever reason, doesn't really do that at this point. So I think I'm trying to speak to other people who are in their 20s, 30s, or even in high school, about how to make smart investing moves with their money. So I don't do as much with budgeting and debt payoff. I'm mostly focusing on investing, like, with not a ton of money, right? So like, I literally, when I was 22, I had like negative money. Like I didn't have money in my bank account, like right before I started my internship. And so even like 2 years later, I've been able to invest in the stock market, invest in real estate through this house hack, and invest in cryptocurrencies. And like, you don't need a lot of money to do it. Like, I think the biggest thing is just starting and building habits early on. Like, if you invest $5 a month, that's so much better than none at all, because 5 years from now that'll become $500. So yeah, I think just investing with not a ton of money.
Love it. Well, look, you proved that you can go out and accomplish something with the house hack. And if you can do that, what else can you do? Right? That was always the way I looked at it. If I can go out and get this job, I can go out and get that job. If I can go out and pay that off, I can go pay something else off. That's what I did that with my credit cards and my debt. So,
right.
Well, it was awesome talking to you. We'll definitely stay in touch. And I want you to keep educating people out there. Yeah,
of course. And I'm super excited to share this with my followers and my friends and stuff, because I think your content is awesome. And it's there's so much content out there that is like just too serious, and you give the best advice, but also make it very fun to follow along with. And it's like, oh, like, this guy isn't trying to speak over my head. Like, he's speaking to me and like knows what it's like, to try and invest when you don't have all the information. Like, you just kind of, like you said, just start doing stuff and you learn from the way. So,
man, thank you. Man,
I can't wait to keep talking.
Of course. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good, Ian. Have a good time with your family and dinner.
Thanks.
So be honest. Did you enjoy what you watched? If so, go do something nice for someone today. Give a compliment, call a friend to just say hello, or if you're feeling extra generous, subscribe to my channel. See you next time.